A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man, run in the stand, hey, bump, 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 got any grapes? The man said, yeah, no.
Hello duckies, and welcome back to another video. In this one we'll be talking about the Conqueror, quite an underrated tank I think, and I think it's quite a good one, at least on the gun, at least its gun's really good, especially the penetration. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Conqueror Tier 9 British heavy tank, actually one of my favourite Tier 9 heavy tanks. So I just thought I'd make a video on it, talking about it, and I actually think the whole line is underrated. The whole line of this thing I think is quite underrated. It starts off with the Churchill, and you get the Churchill 2, it's okay, but then speed's not the best. It's got nice armour, nice gun. Same with the Black Prince, you've got that speed boost, so you can get into position quick when you're on the heavy side, or if you want to go with the mediums, you can use speed boost. Then you have the Conqueror. Obviously you have all these other tanks like the Conqueror Action X, which are much better. But obviously if you want to get the 10, you got to play them, and I think they're pretty good. They're definitely not bad, but they're not the best. You can't say they're bad, but they're not the best. But yeah, back on the Conqueror, you can see the gun. It's a 400 alpha one, pretty nice alpha for a tier 9 heavy tank, quite average. You have the aiming time at 3.9, dispersion 0.336, damage per minute 2,243. I am not running any equipment, or my crew is not maxed, so my damage per minute isn't the most isn't at its most. Reload time 10 seconds, not bad, pretty average again. But this is where the tank really starts to show off its advantages. You can see the penetration on the standard 259. Considering it's a tier 9 tank, that is actually really, really good. I think it's the exact same gun as the FV215B. Obviously, it's got a bit more damage per minute on the FV215B. But yeah, the penetration in this tank, the HE, the APCR is when it is on. When you go over to the equipment and it's on calibrated shells, it's more than the IS4, more than the IS4's heat penetration. Because if we go over here, you go over to the IS4, you can just see the penetration on this thing, 240 for that heat. If you were to go on to this tank again, 242 with calibrated. And that is just brilliant, because you'll be able to go through anything. I think you'll be able to go through Mouse's cheeks, because I think the IS4 can already do that. And considering it's APCR, not heat, and it's got more penetration than heat, only slightly, but still more, then you're gonna have more shell velocity, and get your shots in quicker, and not have the problem where you're not able to get through spaced armor, which is actually really, really vital when you're coming to say if you're in an end-game situation. But yeah, that's basically it for the good things about the tank. The speed isn't too bad, but isn't the greatest, at a top speed of 34. Total turn rate not great as well. You're going to get circled. Yeah, that's basically it for the bad things. Well, no, there's also the armor, which you are going to check in Armor Inspector right now. So I will see you over there. We are back in Armour Inspector, and straight away you can see the armour isn't too great. It is a British tank. You can't do much with your armour in tier 8, tier heavy British tanks. It's just how it is. You can't really side scrape because of your side armour. You can't do much. You can't really, well, you can go hull down, but your turret isn't the best. So yeah, we're going to get straight into the turret. First of all, you can see that big hatch there. Pretty, not really armoured. But I think it's the higher part, which is pretty armoured. You're gonna get some bounce. It's not. I'm not saying you're not gonna get any bounces, but people will go through it. People will definitely go through it. You can see there 115, 135, 241. Even people will go through that. The upper part of it isn't as bad as the lower part, but it's still bad. People are still gonna go right through it. It's just like the top of the top, which no one's really going to aim at. So it really doesn't matter where they aim; they are going to go through it. Unless they I don't know. It would be a miracle if you bounce. But yeah, that's it for the hatch. You can see on the turret, the top of the turret, not too bad. At least on this part. 955, but I think that was the gun mallet there. But yeah, as you see, like here, if I can just get to an angle, like here, it isn't that bad. People won't really penetrate here. But then that's like the only part of your turret which is angled and which has got armor. As you see, the rest of the turret absolutely paper. The side of the turret here, everyone's going to go through that. Not everyone, but obviously most people. A Persian with a stock gun, I think, can go through this. And trust me, that is bad penetration. The gun mallet, obviously, not bad, but people can also, there's actually a few weak spots on the gun mallet. There you can see 202. It's just this little purple bit around the gun. Which is quite weak. People are going to go through but they're not really going to aim there because I think it's going to look red. But still, if someone accidentally shoots at gun mallet, they might actually penetrate. Then yeah, the other part of the turret, everything is basically paper. You can't really hold down because of the turret, but you can do peekaboo. I forgot to mention, it has 7 degrees of oppression. Not great, but you can still use it to your advantage, and you can still do stuff with it. Yeah, the upper plate, 200, 230, 300, 280, not too bad, but people are going to go straight through with heat. Tracks, not. Also, I forgot to say, on British tracks, they're quite, you can penetrate them quite easy. As you see that 25 spaced armor. You also can't really side scrape with this tank. You can see here like 25 millimeters. See at 85 millimeters. People will go through your tracks if they shoot here. Not always, but it's a big chance they will. Also the bottom plate, not great. Obviously, the usual bottom plate. Obviously it's not going to be great, like it is on the case of most tanks. But yeah, again, back to side scraping. You don't really want to side scrape in this tank. You can see 208. You can see it 300. But at the front side of it, 103. You've got this little area you can penetrate, which is really easy to penetrate. You don't really want to be showing that. You just want to be staying in front of your tank. Maybe hold down. Maybe just wiggling, trying to hoping for the best. You don't want to be out in the open, obviously, because it does not have much armor. But yeah, obviously the side absolutely trash. And the same with the ass, and the same with the turret. People are going to go through with HE, especially on your hull, the side and back of your hull. So yeah, that is it for the armor. We are going to go back into the garage for the one match. So I will see you in a minute. So yeah, as you saw there, the armor wasn't too great, meaning you have quite a hard play style. You can't really go hull down. You can do peekaboo, but it doesn't really have great traverse. So you can't really do peekaboo. You don't have you can't like do peekaboo like mediums. You can still do it, but not like mediums. So straight away I'm reading up the lineup and I see they have an E75 who I will be able to easily penetrate with my amazing penetration. But at the same time, he is going to hit us back for probably a really large shell. 460 watts, 460 alpha, which is a pretty large gun, especially on a heavy tank. Straight away, this email, he just got spotted because he was going down there. Maybe I can get a shot into him if he pushes out. I'm going to do a little blind shot. Unfortunately, didn't hit him. He bounced on the tracks, which was quite lucky. British tanks also get quite a lot of bounces on the tracks because of the spaced armor. But if they aim for the higher part of your tank on the sides, then they are definitely going to penetrate. No doubt there. And probably with HU. So yeah, this E75 looks like he is playing a bit aggressive. We also have quite a nice number of hit points. We did get a nice shot into that E75, damaging his fuel tank. That was quite a nice shot. Don't really know what he's doing there, showing his side. We have the slightest shot on him. If I load the APCR, unfortunately not penetrating. I think that hits gun mallet or something like that. But in a minute you're going to see, you can't really see now because it's angled. But we are getting wrecked because I got out there. I'm going to go back trying to get my spot, trying to get unspotted again. Just going to stay still for a bit. I think we are unspotted now. I'm going to see if I can get a shot on this ML. Help our E75. Doesn't really look like he needs help, but it doesn't hurt to help. Now he does because of the other E75. And even with our standard, you can see we can pen the front of that E75, which we all know is a very armoured tank. He got a shot back into us, quite lucky shot from him. That waffle tractor is still up there, I think, and so is that SU-101. Our mediums are doing great on that side. Looks like they're about to take up those two guys, those two RUs, who are in a platoon. So I'll play a bit aggressive with this E75, only because I think we can win. If I knew we wouldn't win, I'd definitely stay behind. And the waffle tractor might be behind us. He could have easily slammed the HE shell into us, but I just did it. Was going to show the penetration there again on the APCR, but he's dead unfortunately. So the waffle tractor's down there actually, so not going to get a shot stand into us by him anytime soon. But we do have this SU-101 who we can slam some big shots into, which I wouldn't mind doing, to be honest. So if I could just use my mobility, it doesn't really have any, I could get over to that guy and put some shots into him. I think he was around that house before, but he has quite a great mobility, he does, so he could easily reposition. So I'm not gonna. Oh, there he is. I was gonna say I'm not going to push straight forward because of my mobility and armor. I'm only gonna peek out here. Like I said, peekaboo is the way. Him showing just his. Also, the HG penetration is really nice on this tank. Forgot to mention that. You can see he just got a really unlucky bounce there. Don't really know what happened. But yeah, like I said, the HG penetration you can see here. Able to pen. Well, we can't really pen there because of the spaced armor it has on its side. Not spaced. Just the angle it was at. We did get a very big beefy shot by that waffle tractor, but at the same time we're able to put one straight back into him. and as you see, we just capped. So yeah, he missed a shot, which was quite lucky. Not really, but yeah. Didn't get the most damage out. I think we got 2,500. My average, that's my average to get in this tank. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that result. Did second on the team. Nice play by this T28. But yeah, that is it for the Conqueror. As you see, I'm pretty broke on the credits. So yeah, that's it for this video, duckies. And I guess I will see you in the next one.